everybody. Dan Illman, Mike here at the DRF Race of the Day for Sunday, April the 23rd. Race number 3 at Santa Anita. Stakes action going down the hill at about 6.5 furlongs. It's the $100,000 Siren Lure. Let's take a peek at this short field. Remember to scan or click the QR code for Race of the Day access on mobile with free formulator pass performances. The two morning line favorites drew posts 1 and 2, and both are prior graded stakes winners over course and distance. Air Force Red is going to cut back in distance, and that's worked out well for him a couple of times in the past.
Yeah, it particularly works out well for him, Dan, when he can make the lead. So we'll see if that's the case here. It's a very short field. He might very well be fastest early in here. But if he makes the lead, he's going to be tough.
Well, the number 4 Sunrise Journey is no slow horse, as Timeform US projects on its pace projector. This is a horse that perhaps may not class up with some of the graded stakes horses in this field, but he certainly has a lot of early speed. He's run on dirt recently, but he's performed nicely on the turf. It'll be interesting to see if Air Force Red is as comfortable sitting off a horse and finishing. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, particularly if the horse that he's, having to stalk early maybe just isn't quite that good. And we'll see, Dan. The key to the race is Sunrise Journey in a lot of ways because he is fast on both surfaces. And he's also cross-entered into the Kona Gold on Saturday, which is another short field, and he's 4-1 on the morning line there. So maybe he runs there and just opens this race right up.
Air Force Red won the Grade 2 Joe Hernandez going route to sprint 3 starts back. Has been in a couple of mile graded stakes races recently. 5th in the Kilroe. That was a Grade 1 where he basically made a pretty easy lead, Mike. I think those horses are just a little bit better than him. I didn't think much of the Kilroe as a race as a whole, but he fits well with these horses, especially at this distance.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's obviously a major player here and probably the horse to beat as well, Dan. Cutting back works for this horse. If he makes an easy lead, it makes him even tougher. When he won that Hernandez 3-back, I mean, he just got absolutely loose in there with no pressure. And it also helped him that What Makes Sammy Run, who was also in there, really didn't fire a good shot. But still, this horse, he's the horse to beat either way.
Let's talk about the two What Makes Sammy Run, because I know you've always been a little bit of a fan of his. His most recent start was the San Simeon, going 6.5 down the hill. It was his first start off of a short layoff, and he was held up in behind horses down on the rail, basically on the turn. I was a little disappointed that he lacked some fire in the stretch, just getting 4th in a head bob.
I'll agree with that. I mean, he did, sort of briefly get caught behind horses as they came to the stretch. I thought he was, in the clear with plenty of time. Dan, he didn't really fire one of his good finishes through the stretch there. He just got 4th. I didn't love that performance, but maybe it was a step in the right direction because his Hernandez 2-back just wasn't very good at all. That was pretty disappointing. He got a little time off after that. I think he's going to run better here. If he runs anything like he did winning the Eddie D last October, I just think he's going to win this race.
The number 3 is Indian Peak, and while he's stepping up out of a Calbred stakes race into this open stake, he's making his second start off a layoff, and he might have had an excuse last time out in this race, the Sensational Star going down the hill. Again, this is his first start since July. He trailed early in this short field, and he's now beginning to gain momentum down towards the inside, and maybe this trip wasn't exactly best for him.
Yeah, it's going to be very late when he finally sees full daylight here, Dan. And it's too late because the horse coming down the outside is 1-5, and he's going to get the job done there. Now that winner, the Chosen Vron, he might be a little bit better on dirt than he is on turf, but he's pretty good on the grass too. I don't know. This horse had an excuse last time. The question is, do you want to bet him off of any of his other races, particularly if this pace is slow, because this horse doesn't really have any speed.
Another horse that's been chasing the Chosen Vron, who's just been red hot, whether it's dirt or turf, is the 4 Sunrise Journey. And this horse's most recent turf effort, you have to go back last fall to the Calbred California Flag, where he showed good speed and was no match for the Chosen Vron, who came back to win his next 4 starts on dirt and on turf, with buyers ranging between 83 and 91. Sunrise Journey, 91 and 103. What am I saying? Sunrise Journey did run well last time out on the dirt. He does have speed. I'm curious to see how he classes up on turf against these horses.
Yeah, I suspect. I mean, listen, his last 2 races since they claimed him for 20, they've actually been very good. So maybe he's just a new horse now, and now they'll come back to turf with him if they decide to run here, and he'll be way more dangerous. He has won 4 times on the grass stand, but they're against weaker horses. They're all going 5 furlongs. I wouldn't bet him off of any of those efforts. But if you think he's a new horse now and he's just going to run a lot better here, I guess you could take a shot.
3-month layoff for the number 5 Burn and Turf, but this horse ran well going down the hill 2 starts back in the Grade 3 Daytona. He was only beaten a length by Bran, who was a sharp horse at that time. Now, his most recent race was off of a very long layoff. It was on the Tapeta surface at Golden Gate Fields. He showed brief speed. He tired. Well, I'm sure they would have wanted to see a little bit more out of that race from a fitness standpoint. He figures to have gained a ton of it.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I mean, if you go back and watch, I mean, they just rode him right from the start. Like they wanted to get some fitness out of that performance. He got pretty tired in the stretch. I'm assuming that's all fine. His turf form early last year was pretty good. I actually even felt like he ran okay in the Daytona, Dan. I don't know why they conceded the lead there. It was a short field. They conceded to the winner, and then he tried to chase and he couldn't catch him. I liked his prior 2 starts, though.
He figures to be working out a good close to the pace trip here while clear of traffic on the outside, turning 4 home. Before we get to our top picks, please click the subscribe button for the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel. Kentucky Derby right around the corner. Mike Welsh's Kentucky Derby Clock Reports now available on DRFTV on our YouTube channel. A top pick time for the Sunday race of the day. Mike, you're going back to what makes Sammy run. Second off the layoff. He should be punching on late.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, personally, I just think his best race is the best race available in this field. I don't know if he's going to run it or not. I think if he does, that he will win here. Air Force Red, obviously, probably the horse to beat from the rail.
Not really sure I want to take Air Force Red at a very short price. I think he's the most likely winner of this race. He just classes up very well, has strong figures, and this route to sprint moves worked well for him in the past. 2-5-1-3 for Mike, 1-2-3-5 for me. It's the $100,000 Siren Lure race number 3 at Santa Anita on Sunday. Good luck.